Hello and welcome to Renfrewshire Libraries in conversation with Football Heroes author Matt Oldfield. Hi Matt. Let's kick off with Neymar Jr. Thanks so much, Matt. So we actually start Neymar's career, or indeed life, with a lucky escape.
Yeah, so well, one of the first chapters of the book and one of the first kind of big moments of his life, he was involved in a car accident. So he was just a baby at the time, and his father was involved in an accident which left the car kind of hanging on the edge of a cliff, and they knew that there was a baby in the car, but they couldn't find this baby for a while, and so there was this kind of frantic search and fear about where he'd ended up. But luckily, he'd rolled into the bit below the car seat, and so they were able to find him. But it was kind of this frantic moment, and yeah, it makes you think, you know, what if that had happened? We'd have never had Neymar Jr.
A cliff edge to start the story.
There you go.
Yes. We move on, Matt, to Neymar Jr. Honing his skills in Brazil in a game called futsal.
Yeah, so I think I think there are two forms of football that play a massive part in a lot of these kind of Brazilian stories. One being kind of street football, so and the other being futsal, which is, so if you don't, maybe you've heard of futsal already, but if not, it's an indoor game played with a slightly heavier ball, and played with, it's like a sort of five-a-side football but with a heavier ball, and there's much more focus on sort of skills and touch and control, rather than kind of shooting from long range or anything like that, partly because this ball is heavier. So yeah, it's a massive game, from all the way from, you know, Pele through to, you know, Ronaldinho and Neymar. These players all developed so much of their kind of special skills through their time so all Brazilian kids will spend time playing futsal at a local club, and that does tend to create these, especially the close control. It really enables them to escape from tight situations, and there's also, I think it's a game which has a lot of freedom as well, so people are encouraged to express themselves with skills.
Fabulous. So Neymar takes these skills and he develops on the Brazilian Championship with club team Santos. Now, as you mentioned earlier, a previous Brazilian legend, Pele, describes Neymar as the future of Brazil. So we now fast forward to the World Cup of 2014 that was actually held in Brazil.
Yeah, I mean, talk about pressure. You know, obviously, so Pele played for Santos as well. So from the very beginning, Neymar was following in footsteps, was very much the new Pele. So he always had that pressure. Then fast forward to 2014, and you know, he's the main superstar for the Brazilian national team, playing in a World Cup in Brazil. So, you know, the millions of fans there, you know, for that month, you know, people wouldn't have talked about anything else other than football, and other than how Neymar was going to win Brazil the World Cup. And then unfortunately, he picked up this injury which ruled him out of the semi-final against Germany, and I'm sure a lot of you already know the story of Brazil versus Germany in the semi-finals, but it didn't end well for Brazil. They lost 7-1, and which was seen as this kind of national embarrassment, disgrace, and yeah, it's been. I mean, the pressure's still there on Neymar. I think he won the Olympic gold. In that must have been 2016, I think, with Brazil, which kind of helped a bit. You know, yeah, it went some way towards it, but then obviously 2018 World Cup just didn't really happen for Brazil, and you know, chances of them doing that well at 2022, I don't know. But Neymar will, I'm sure, do his best.
You talk about the injuries there in World Cup 2014. Just moving to the club career briefly, he's also had his injuries because Champions League in Europe has been in a big event, but he's been injured of late for PSG in big games in the Champions League as well, and obviously his previous role at Barcelona. But thanks so much, Matt. The final whistle has blown. So thanks for sharing an insight into the research, writing, and story of Neymar Jr.